Harden backs up and tries it again. Yes! He does it again!
Harden met by Morris. Harden on the drive. Yes! And the foul.
Here comes a step back three. Again down the hatch it goes for James Harden.
Step back. Oh! A cold-blooded three for James Harden. Is that the most unstoppable shot in basketball?
It's unbelievable.
Harden! How do you like me now? James flexing those muscles. Oh! James Harden with an MVP performance.
You see that group of players right there, very impressive. James Harden sitting at the top of the list. Oh, asterisk, Wilt Chamberlain is really at the top, the Big Dipper. But nevertheless, James Harden is impressive. 17 straight games of scoring 30 or more. Crazy. So, fellas, number one, how impressive is this? And Fish, I'm actually going to start with you because the person who's right behind James Harden, who we just passed, you had the pleasure of sharing the backcourt with Kobe Bryant, and you witnessed him put together some of these magnificent performances. Comparing the two players, which one, in your opinion, was more dominant during their streak?
Oh, that's a great question. James, it feels more dominant, I think, in terms of what James is doing because of the 57, the 40-plus that was mixed in there. I felt like Kobe's was more consistent. Like he literally could have just scored 32, 35 every night, and maybe he had a breakout here or there. I think also James has been needed to score this many just for the Rockets to have a chance to win. But there's no way I could have imagined another player doing that at that time. To think that now Harden has surpassed Kobe on that list is an amazing accomplishment.
Looking at Harden's ceiling, go ahead, chime in just on the level of play that he's been able to maintain and continue to play at this level while missing CP3, Capella out, and all these other players. His usage is through the chart.
Yeah, it's bonkers. I mean, and it's part of the evolution of what James Harden has been in this system, in Mike D'Antoni's system. When you have the opportunity to control the action the way that he does, and you're that gifted a passer and scorer and creator, to me, that's what elevates his performance to another level. I know Kobe, I don't know that there's ever been a guy who was as demonic a scorer as Kobe, like who could just rip a team's heart out and, strike the fear in everybody the way he did. But he didn't always have the assist numbers like James Harden does. Harden is doing the scoring, and he's creating for everybody else in ways that I don't know, and that's not a knock on Kobe. I just don't know that it was the same type of creation in terms of shots for everybody else. But what Harden's done to catch T-Mac and Kobe and then pass him, unbelievable.
Yes.
Unbelievable. But one way he does it is he's creative offensively. He's able to get to the line. And as you see by the numbers, over the past 3 seasons, he is by far the leader in getting to the free throw line with his free throw attempts. It is ridiculous. Russell Westbrook, his former teammate, is right there, but Harden is clearly head and shoulders above everybody else. So what we're going to do right now, we're out here on the court for a reason. The coach, Derek Fisher, is going to demonstrate the techniques that the bearded one uses to get to the court because, hey, we got to get this knowledge, and you got it all.
That's a tough task.
I don't always get caught up in this kind of stuff.
He's a lefty, and we have a volunteer right now. Sekou Smith is going to demonstrate right here, and I'm just going to sit back and watch.
All right, well, let's come out this way as we take a look at James Harden here going right and literally wrapping his left arm around Paul Millsap's inside hand there. You see Millsap right arm away from his body. James Harden locks his left arm around his, right? And so when you think about this, we used to hand check before, right? We played defense. So to replace the hand checking, a lot of players have gone to this type of position so that hand is not out. So now James is feeling what used to be an arm bar on his body. They have to come off his body now for freedom of movement with the rules. So as he's driving right, he sees that arm away from your body, and he now comes up as though he's getting ready to go into his shooting motion on his way downhill, and the referees are trained to watch the defender. That's who is going to cause more problems for the referee is the defender, not the offensive player. So they look up, they see the defender's arms wrapped around the offensive player. That's a foul on the defender, and he's become one of the most crafty offensive players at creating fouls that I've ever seen. So he used multiple ways of doing it. That's one way that he does it. There's another way when he's penetrating downhill, whether it's right or left. So let's say he's going to his left this time. He's driving to the basket, and he shows this ball to Sekou. Sekou feels like, hey, I got quick hands. I can get this steal. Soon as he extends, he's coming across. Boom, arms come up, right into another foul situation.
He does it all the time. That's the thing about it. Fish, I'm stunned that these guys have not caught on. These defenders have not caught on. And I love when, when the Lakers earlier this year, they were like, hands behind the back. Like, the only way to do this is hands behind the back, because if you stick it out there for James Harden, even if there's no real contact, he can exaggerate it and sell fouls to the official. I know some people don't like that. Smart basketball, though, when you consider if Kobe or Michael got a chance to play in the era where freedom of movement was an emphasis.
Oh, my goodness.
So listen,
it would have been crazy.
It would have been crazy. So we've seen the demonstration, hand check, no hand check, arm bar extended. But what about the world famous step back that he's known for? We got to demonstrate that.
Well, for Harden, it's gone from step back to side step, right? So as a left-handed player, now that I've created foul situations, your hands have to stay off of my body. I step sideways to get a little bit of separation from you. Now when you contest, I stick the leg out a little bit. Kind of looks like my natural shooting motion.
Kind of.
George Hill didn't even leave the floor that time. But because James Harden wasn't able to come straight back down, foul called on George Hill. This time, JaMychal Green trying to slide with him. And knocking him around, and that's a foul on Sekou.
Right.
I'm going to get 3 free throws.
That step back is amazing. He'll definitely go down the line.
Did he create this? I'm trying to remember, is there another player who used the step back? Now you see Luka Doncic, you see other players doing it, their own version of it, but who employed this tool like this prior to James Harden? I don't remember anybody really going to it as often as he does.
I don't know if he created it, but he definitely has pioneered what looks to be more of a side step. For a long time, we were taught to step back, drive the defender that way, step back this way.
Which is, in turn, a more difficult shot to take if you're
Much
stepping
more
back.
difficult.
Yeah.
The side step, which is Harden is doing, really allows you to still stay more square to the basket, and then I think be able to add some multiple dribble moves behind that. So real smart evolution by Harden.
The evolution also, he's allowed to maybe take a step or two extra.
Stop it. We saw Steph try it. Didn't work.
Saw Steph try. Hey, we got more coming on Game Time. Don't go anywhere. Defense, Sekou Smith.
Oh, my God.
Shoot the shot. Shoot the shot. Buckets. Oh. Take a look at these 4 ballers on the screen. These are the guys that you want to have the ball in their hands in a close game, at least this year. And you definitely want Luka Doncic to take the shot if you need a 3. Take a look at that percentage. It's crazy. In this open court, we asked some of our favorite resident shooters who they would take in the clutch to make a bucket for the win.
Kenny Smith throws it across. Miller for 3. Oh, he backed it in!
Hey everybody, Matt here with 3 of the most accomplished shooters in NBA history. 3D, Dennis Scott, Kenny Smith, the Hall of Famer Reggie Miller, and so of course...
This is a shooting show.
No, of course.
I was trying to figure out
I want to talk about shooting. One active player to take a game-winning shot, if you could choose, who is that guy?
Steph Curry. Or Kevin Durant, or LeBron James.
Curry saves it 3. Steph good! Goes to the corner to shoot a 3 and hits to tie it up. Shot clock is off. James pull up for a 3. Rainbow!
Any more?
To take a 3 to win a game.
I take all 3 of those. Even LeBron James, in terms of his ability to get it off, he'll get it off comfortably because of his size, strength, and ball handling ability. So he would get it off comfortably. He doesn't shoot with the same accuracy as those other 2 guys, but he gets a better comfort level at times than those 2 guys.
For me, active, if we're just trying to get a shot clock's going down, it's Kyrie Irving. His ball handling ability to be able to get to any spot on the floor and get his shot off, to your point, he's going to get his shot off. And he's one of the few point guards, well, there's a lot of point guards in the league, and can shoot the 3.
Definitely guys that I probably would have picked, but if I'm going with someone with ice water in their veins need a shot, I'm going with Dollar Dame Leonard. A guy that can create his own shot, or you can put him in a high pick and roll, shoots with depth, can shoot deep, and if you foul him, he's going to make foul shots.
Does the answer change for any of you if I say it's a catch-and-shoot three to win a game?
Klay Thompson.
Yeah. Catch and shoot, I would add Klay to the catch and shoot. Like, it swung back out to him. I would add Klay to that for sure.
You know, it's funny, we were talking James Harden.
Ooh, yes, to get a bucket, yes.
He could do.
Oh, my goodness, yeah, to get a bucket, yeah.
I mean,
Catch the dribble, off the dribble.
Off the dribble, he's
Off the
great,
dribble, no
but
question about it.
He gets to walk and shoot it. So he gets he gets to do the running man.
I'll make it harder. Let's go back in history. Any player who's ever played to win a game with a three.
Oh, we're sitting right here.
Oh,
Who are you picking?
No, there's a lot of guys.
No, I'm not. You could go last if you're not going to talk about yourself.
I'm gonna go with Larry Legend.
No.
To make a three. He said to make a three, right?
To make a three.
To make a three at the end of the game.
Celtics have got 3 seconds. 2. Bird, a runner. It's good.
I'm going with Larry Legend.
I'm going with the guy sitting here only because the moment for Larry is always the moment. For Reggie, he creates more moments, meaning he's looking for an opportunity. I think at times you hope we get down 3. You know, so there's a difference. But Larry's like, no, I'm not even going to let you get up. I'm going to beat you. He's waiting for that moment. And so for me, watching Reggie over the years, I would have to say Reggie would be the guy I would be. Like,
good looking, Ken.
No,
yeah.
But and taking it a step further, with Larry, as much as we, love his shooting, he's not going to get open in that situation. Where you, and I'm going to throw Ray Allen into the mix, both of you guys are going to get open because you're probably the best running without the basketball, running off screens and getting open.
Now,
Now,
I'm going to put Larry second, though. I wasn't like,
Kenny, Larry's third. Ray Allen's above him. Well, come on now. But Ray Allen and Reggie Miller, we need a 3. Larry's not getting open. Him and Ray are getting open to get that 3 off.
Rebound, Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang!
There's a guy that I would want to be in this mix because he's the leading three-point shooter in the history of playoffs over certain attempts. You know who that guy is, right?
Kenny the Jets man.
You know.
I was waiting for that.
You look at
That leads to my next question. You may have already answered it, but if in a theoretical world where I could play and I had to choose one of the 3 of you to win a game with a 3, where am I going?
We're all going to pick ourselves. That's how confident we. I mean, in all of our careers that we've all hit game winners, we've all hit buzzer beaters, so we know we can do it. So if you're asking openly, I want to, as much as I love both these guys, I want to take that shot first.
I would honestly say that these guys were better three-point shooters in this regard. That was such a big part of their diet. And for me, it became a part of my diet later on. But I had to learn to be that. It is, like Reggie Miller, we played at UCLA in Pauley Pavilion and in North Carolina. We were like, guard him from here.
Right.
That didn't come into my life until about my 4th year in the NBA. It was always part of Dennis Scott's repertoire, a steady part of that diet, the long ball shot. I was catching up with you all the time.
Right.
Now, I just still think I can shoot the ball. But I just know that you guys it was a better diet.
We all had different strengths at different times. Sure. But at the end of a game, to a man, we're all going to say, put the ball in our hands. Kenny wants those shots.
Yeah, one of the
Kenny
biggest
wants those shots.
One of the biggest
One of those
moments.
shots.
Yeah.
We were actually in the biggest moments in Rocket and Orlando basketball history. Hit a three-pointer to tie the game to send it to overtime in the NBA Finals.
He's been on fire and hits. He's tied the game.
But before that, this dude,
In the regulation,
he comes
right.
back and hits another one.
Back to Scott. 3 and he's tied
Back to back.
Yep.
It was him and I.
You haven't made my job any easier.
Well, hey, how about this? Who are you going to pick? If your life depended on it, and your family's life depended on it, and they needed a 3 to get them out. Come on, man.
I will answer the question. I've got bad news for you and my family. I turned it over before I ever got it.
I would tell you this. If you
I'm sitting here and not there.
If you gave it to any of us, your family lives.
Poor Matt Weiner. You can't turn the ball over when your family's on the line, okay? Let's just say that. Let's hope he made a better decision next time. That's hilarious. Moving forward, gentlemen, starting with you, who hit one of the biggest clutch shots all time down in San Antonio and ran straight off the court. If you have to pick a player to take a shot besides yourself, who is it going to be?
Current player?
Current player.
I'm going Durant.
KD, why?
I'm going Kevin Durant. I think the comments that 3D, Kenny, and Reggie made about being able to get the shot off, it is difficult with the game on the line to actually get a quality look at the basket, which is why only certain guys can be on this list. And Kevin Durant's size and ability to handle the basketball, create space, and get the shot off that he or we would want, I would go Durant right now.
Yeah, I think there's a handful of guys, and Reggie, I believe, mentioned Dame Lillard, who to me is one of my favorite guys in terms of just no fear in that moment. But if I'm just looking at the ability to create the space to get that shot, man, it's been watching James Harden these past few weeks. Would you want anybody else out there on the line right now with that ball other than James Harden? The shot he made over Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, a game winner on the road with two of the best defenders in basketball in his face.
And you can make an argument he was fouled in the play.
Yes. I would trust, I don't know about the family, but I might put the mortgage on James Harden.
Yeah.
It's not a bad choice. Right now, listen, Luka Doncic has been very impressive. We saw the percentages so far, what he's doing in clutch situations. I love the players that we've already seen that have been established, but listen, got to show love to the Rook, man. He's already done it. He's been overseas and made big shots over there in the Euro League, and he's come over here and he's been impressive, knocking down big-time shots for the Mavericks early on in his career.
All-time guy, though, I'm stunned that nobody mentioned when they're talking about just the history of the game. Big shot Bob Horry. How does Robert Horry not get mentioned somewhere on there? You're talking about moments?
Yes.
Shots, magnitude. I mean, he had it all, and he knocked them down in every uniform he ever played in.
Yes,
I mean,
indeed.
He should be on somebody's list. If you're talking about with everything on the line, got to get Robert Horry. You got to squeeze him in there somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. He has 7 reasons why he should be on that list.
Big shot, Bob. You were there, had a front row seat for a lot of those clutch moments that he provided for the Lakers. And on the opposite side, too.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Too soon. Too soon. Sorry. That's 2 for me in the show. I won't do it anymore. We got more Game Time coming. It is crazy tonight. We're having a great time talking basketball. Be Fish. Say cool. Roll quick.